Welcome back to the Randall Brands YouTube. Today we're going to be talking about the 3 biggest mistakes you're potentially making on your journey to losing weight. I've lost 70 pounds. I was 250 pounds a year ago today. And I've learned a lot of things in all 3 of these mistakes I've made. And these mistakes, if you're making them, are hindering your progress. So we'll start at number 3, then we'll go to number 2, and then number 1. So at number 3, trying to copy fitness influencers. So oftentimes you see people online, they're eating out, they're eating whatever they feel like it. They're not really following any type of routine. They're telling you that they just got their body just by doing something, and it sounds good to the ears, but in reality, they're potentially doing more than they say that they're doing. And then it's also possible that, oftentimes those people that you see online, they've been working out for years. So when you've been working out for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, a decade, you could get away with more stuff than somebody who's only been working out for a couple months or a couple years, or even worse, somebody who's just starting off. They've built certain foundations that allow for them to be able to do other things that, people who haven't been working out for a long time can't do. That's number 1. Number 2, I'm not going to say all because I don't like talking in absolutes, but a lot of the people you see online, or at least some of the people that you see online, are on exogenous hormones, are taking steroids, are taking anabolics and stuff like that. So when you take anabolics, you're able to get away with more than somebody who's not taking anabolics. You're able to burn fat and build muscle at faster paces than people who aren't able to have a diet that's maybe not too optimal. You'll still see the results that you want. So if you're not taking steroids, if you're not enhanced and you're trying to copy somebody who is enhanced and hoping to get their same results, that's not going to be good. Influencers online also have different lifestyles. A lot of them, their whole life is fitness, which is fine. A big portion of my life is fitness as well. So they're able to allocate more time to the gym and stuff like that. So this is something that I struggled with. I would see, some people that I looked up to online in the bodybuilding space and in the fitness space. I would see them eating In-N-Out and Wingstop and stuff like that. And I'm eating like that. I'm trying to figure out, why don't I get the same results? Why am I not looking like that? I'm doing the same things. And I think oftentimes we try to, compare our journey to somebody else's journey, but they've been in their journey longer. They've built foundations. Often too, just because you see them eating like that doesn't mean that they eat like that every day. They might eat In-N-Out or something like that once a week or once every couple weeks, but they're just showing you what they want you to see. So definitely, you'll see better results the more days you can string together where you're following your meal plan, you're eating the foods that you're supposed to be eating, you're tracking, you're eating your protein, your fats, and your carbs, and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, not eating out, not eating 2,000-3,000 calorie meals that are just filled with fats and carbs and aren't conducive to your meal plan. That's not gonna work. But a lot of times that's what we see on fitness influencers' pages, on YouTube, and on just the fitness community in general. And that does not work for most people. And trying to copy that will cause you to plateau. And it will cause you to take longer than it needs to take for you to lose weight. That's what happened to me. I've lost 70 pounds, but I could have lost the 70 pounds quicker. And it's not necessarily a better thing to lose weight quicker, because the goal is to lose fat and keep the muscle that we have. But there was a lot of times where I was binge eating and stuff like that. And binge eating is terrible. I'm going to make another video on that, because I can make a whole another video on that. But binge eating caused me to take longer than it should have taken for me to get the results I wanted. So we'll make another video on that, but this video will just be about the 3 biggest mistakes people are making on their weight loss journey. So mistake number 2 is overcomplicating nutrition. Overcomplicating nutrition. Every time I go online, I'm seeing all these different meals, and everybody has their own cookbook, and that stuff is fine. Because the biggest thing with nutrition is just adherence, and how can we find a diet? I don't like using the word diet, but how can we find a meal plan that is conducive to our life and that we could use and that we enjoy, right? But with meal plans is we need to be able to stick to it. So if every day, let's say you work a 9 to 5, and every day you're going on TikTok or going on Instagram and trying to find what the latest, the ladies in fitness and what their latest meals are and all their stuff, and it's taking you an hour to cook and an hour to clean, or not hour to clean, but let's say 20 minutes to clean. It's taking you an hour to cook, let's say 20 minutes to prepare, 45 minutes to cook and 20 minutes to clean. Like, that's not, you're not gonna stick to that. You might stick to it, but you might only be able to stick to it for 2 weeks. And then on the days where, you know, you don't have the time to be making those crazy meals that you see on TikTok and on Instagram, you'd be like, okay, I might as well just order out. I don't have anything cooked. I don't feel like spending an hour in the kitchen, so I'm gonna order out. And that's gonna throw you back a few days. So there's a reason why people in the nutrition space, people in the health and wellness space, there's a reason why they meal prep. There's a reason why they keep Tupperware in their refrigerator with their proteins, and they have simple carbs on hand, because it's simple, and simplicity always wins. And it's not even just really with nutrition. I think in all areas of life, like, I like simplicity with my wardrobe, simplicity in my relationships, simplicity with nutrition, simplicity with my actual programming in the gym. Just simplicity equals adherence, and simplicity just equals this beauty. I love simplicity. When we're trying to eat healthy, we need to keep things as simple as possible. I struggled with that. You know, I was always trying to look for doing something new. I was always trying to, you know, find like different meals and stuff like that. And it's fine to enjoy the food that you eat. You know, some people take it a little bit farther left. Some people are like, I don't eat for enjoyment. I just eat for function, which is kind of where I'm at now. But if you still want to be like, nah, I want to enjoy my foods, just find the few foods that work for you and stick to it. If you train 4 days and you don't train the other 3 days, or you do 5 and 2 or 6 and 1, I say most people probably do 4 and 3 or 5 and 2. Those 4 or 5 days on your MyFitnessPal or on your Chronometer, whatever app that you use, you can say, okay, I'm gonna save my training day meals. So all my training days, I'm gonna eat the same things. And then on my non-training days, I'm gonna eat the same thing. And it's something that's a lot of times frowned on, that, you know, eating the same thing could get boring and stuff like that. But it leads to adherence. And if you're eating foods that you actually like, you'll be able to stick to it. So eating the same things for like 80-90% of the time, and then also keeping your meals simple, will cause you to move faster in your journey, and you won't be taking 5 steps forward, then 6 steps back, and then 3 steps forward, and then 5 steps back, because you're going off your meal plan. Mistake number 1, this is huge. Trying to change your habits. I don't like using the word trying, but I'll use it in this scenario. Trying to change your habits without changing the person who made those habits. Trying to change your habits without changing the person who made those habits. This is why I made the video why a summer body mindset is bad, because it puts too much onus on the results, on the end results. But there's a reason why you're having to go through this weight loss journey or this fat loss journey. Now, if this is just like a normal like bulk or cut season, that's kind of different. But if you're significantly overweight, like I was 70 pounds overweight, 60 pounds overweight, and you're having to cut a significant amount of fat, it wasn't until I got to maybe about 220 pounds where I was like, look, man, like I need to change who I am. Like the things I was doing to get me so fat, to get me so out of shape, I cannot keep doing those same things. I cannot be that same Randall Branch if I want to be the best version of myself. So oftentimes people try to change their habits, but they don't want to change the person who made those habits. Those habits are, okay, I'm gonna start walking more. I'm gonna start tracking my food. I'm gonna start working out and being consistent with my diet and being consistent with my workouts and stuff. And those are good habits to have, but there's a certain person that makes those habits. And if you're not doing those habits right now, then you're not that person yet. Temporary behavior changes lead to temporary results. So if you temporarily want to, you know, get in shape, or you temporarily want to walk more, things like that, but you're not the person that is able to do that when you're supposed to be doing it, regardless of the circumstances, if it's raining, regardless if you're tired, regardless if you don't feel like it, you're gonna have temporary results. And that's something that happened to me. I had very temporary results. I would lose weight, gain weight, and I wasn't fluctuating too high, but I was doing a little bit of fluctuating. And then as soon as I was like, nah, I need to be a different person. I need to be able to do things when I know I need to do them, regardless of how I feel, and be the person that's actually worthy of receiving the results I want. That's when I just got so much more momentum, and out of nowhere, I was just able to get to my goal. And I was like, what the heck? And it literally took me like, I've been pretty locked in, man, it's May right now. So definitely since like February, I've been really locked in. And I made more progress in the last 2 or 3 months than I did like the first 8 months of my weight loss journey, or my fat loss journey, just because I've been locked in and I've been the person that I needed to become. I wasn't just trying to temporarily change my habits, I changed who I was, and it allowed me to be able to actually do those habits on a daily basis. So I mentioned the 3 biggest mistakes, and I want to keep this video brief, but I was talking to my friend the other day, and I think there's just so much confusion within the fitness community, the nutrition community, just the wellness community in general. There's a lot of conflicting advice. People got the results that they got doing one thing, and other people got the results doing another thing, and each side thinks that they're right and that the other side is wrong. There's really, and I was even thinking about this with business, like there's certain things that you have to do. Like for business, you have to have a product or a service. You have to have a way to receive money. And then you have to have people who want that product or service. Those are the only rules. Everything else is kind of just up for grabs, because people have been successful doing it this way and other people have been successful doing it this way. So if that's the case, then that there are no rules technically. So the same mindset applies to fitness. With fitness, you have to be in a calorie deficit. You have to be in an energy deficit, I should say. And it helps to be in a calorie deficit. And you need to be getting your protein and stuff like that. But all the extra fluff that you might see in the intricates, those could help. And there definitely are certain techniques and methods and methodologies. But if you feel like you're stuck, if you just feel like there's so much conflicting information, just stick to the meat and potatoes of what you know is going to move the needle. Don't get shiny object syndrome with different diets coming out, with different workouts coming out, with all these new studies coming out on, oh, they say that this volume is best and this volume is best. And in nutrition, they say that, there's always some stuff coming out. Just cut the fluff, focus on the stuff that actually move the needle, and you'll get the results that you want. If you want to check out the actual pictures of when I was fat at 250 and now me being nice and lean at 180, and I still got a lot of work to do, guys. Like, this is just my first transformation. I was telling my roommate, man, I got another transformation on the way, because I understand what it takes to be able to get the results I want. So there's going to be another transformation I'll make from now until the end of the year, and I'm excited for that. But if you guys want to check out the picture, the side-by-side of me when I was 250 and me when I was 180, go ahead and check that out on my Instagram, @RandallBranch. It can give you some motivation. You're not in this alone, man. A lot of people in our society are overweight, and it is a big problem. And it helps to be able to see that there's other people who have come from the same situations that you've come from. I know oftentimes when you go online, you're probably seeing people and their transformation is them. You're like, man, you was already in shape. You just added some muscle. And that's what I was kind of felt like that too. Like, a lot of people who do make transformations, at least from what I see, they're transforming from a pretty good base. And that's not me saying that it's easier for them, because everybody's on their own journey. But like, I was fat, guys. Like, I've lost 70 pounds. I was 70, 80 pounds overweight. So if you're in a situation where you're overweight and stuff like that, don't blame genetics. Don't blame, like, take ownership of, hey, this is my fault. I need to do better. It's my fault that I'm in this predicament. And because it's my fault, it's also on me to be able to get myself out of this predicament. So as soon as you take ownership of the fact that it's your fault, you become aware of the fact that it's your fault, you could then start taking the actionable steps to get you the results that you want. And this kind of stuff, honestly, it does kind of stoke me and kind of get me a little bit excited, because my life is so much better now that I'm leaner, now that I'm actually happy with what I see in the mirror. I still got a lot of work to do, but I have my head on straight, and I know that I'm the person that's worthy of getting everything I want out of life, whether that be in fitness, whether that be in business, whether that be in me working to become a better person in general, a better Randall Branch. Man, I'm the person that deserves all of it, because I'm putting in the work. And because my habits reflect who I am daily. Every single day, my habits are reflecting who I am. So I hope this video meant well. I hope you got a lot of value from this video. If you enjoyed this video, like, comment, share, subscribe. If you are interested, I will be having my one-on-one fitness coaching later on this month. You guys can check that out on randallbranchco.com. But a lot of fitness stuff coming, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Randall Branch Media, check it out.